everybody, this is Judy. Today I'm going to make some sauteed turnip greens. I have a pretty large pot here that you can see, big enough to be able to accommodate the turnip greens. My stove is warming up just above medium heat, and I am going to add about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Now, if you don't want to use the oil, that's perfectly fine and up to you. You can use water. I'd say 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, or vegetable broth would actually work very good because it would give some flavor to our ingredients here. Now I have a half a cup of chopped yellow onion, and you can see these pieces are on the larger side. I'm not worried about making them any fancy way or small. Hey, I like the onion, and this is going to be mostly for me, so you gotta have it your way. If you want more onion, you can put more onion. If you want it smaller, cut them smaller. And we just want to saute them a little bit just until they start to cook. Soften up a bit. Alright, I have lowered the heat to right at medium. It's been a good minute now that these have been in there. So I'm going to add now 3 large cloves of garlic, and you can see I didn't mince these. These are in pretty good sizes also. And that's okay. You can mince them if you want. You can cut them up any size you want. But anyway, we want to go for about another minute here and give this garlic an opportunity to start to soften up some. Alright, you can see my garlic is starting to cook. So now we're going to go ahead and add 1 bunch of washed and coarsely chopped up turnip greens. I've actually got 2 plates worth of them here. There's one, and here's the other. This is 1 bunch out of the store. Can't tell you exactly how much as far as cups or weight, whatever. Just 1 bunch is good. Now we're just going to start sauteing these greens. A lot of times in the South, where we used to live, we would cook greens like this in a lot of water for a long time, maybe with a piece of fat back or something like that. I have found that I don't need to cook them all that length of time. Now you can see my stove has cooled down. So we're going to turn this up to about a medium high just to get it going again. And I'm just going to continue to saute them. If I see that they need a little bit of liquid, I'm going to add some water, just a couple tablespoons at a time. If you were sauteing these in broth, you could add some vegetable broth or some more, or water, whichever. But of course the vegetable broth is going to give an opportunity to add a little more nice flavor to it. So however you want to do it. In the meantime, until this starts to warm back up, and it is starting to, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to taste. No specific amount here. If you don't want to add any salt, don't add any salt. It's up to you. A little bit of pepper. And you see that these greens do wilt down. Now I have not added any extra liquid at this point. They're cooking just fine on their own with the amount of water that leaches out of them. And of course there was a little bit of water adhering to them from when I actually washed them. I washed them and kind of shook them dry, but there was water adhering to them. So with the rate they're wilting down, I may not need to add any water to them. And the stove is still on a medium high. And all we want to do is just continue to saute them until they are as tender as we want. And what I'm going to do is take a fork and just kind of poke at these stems. You see I've got the stems and all in there. If you don't want the stems, you can remove them right up front. But to me, I like them. Why not add them in there? Okay, the stems are not as tender as I want them to be yet. I want them to be like a fork tender, not mushy. These greens have sauteed for roughly 5 minutes, and I've got a pretty good sized piece of stem here, and it is crispy, fork tender, just a crisp tender. So I'm going to turn the stove off. They've sauteed for roughly 5 minutes. I did not need to add any extra water. What I'm going to do now is add the juice of 1 lime. You can use the juice of 1 lemon if you want. Depending upon how much juice is in there, you might go with a half. It just depends on how big your fruit is. And the stove is off. Now I'm just stirring this in. And that's all there is to it. That's it. You can use lemon, lime. You can even use a tablespoon of vinegar if you would rather go with that. That's a common thing that we can do with greens to help remove any degree of bitterness that might be in there. And that's it. They did not take long to cook. And we're going to plate this up so you can see what they look like. Here are the finished greens, and you can see they really did not take very long to cook, and yes, they are yummy. The recipe is below and on my blog. Give this a try sometime. Let me know how it works for you. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Bye for now.